and it's a victory for you. It takes you to 3rd place. What did you make of your team's performance today and the results?
Well, I think in the beginning we didn't start very well. We played against a very good side. I know Medeama, they will come here, they will control the face of the game. It was a bit scrappy in the first half. They control majority of where we had a couple of chances where we should have buried it. But I told them if we keep on missing chances, gradually they will gain confidence and they will start control, because we know they have a good trainer, so they will start controlling the face of the game. Fortunate first half it ended up 0-0. Then when we went back to the drawing board, I decided to make some changes and some positional changes as well. And as usual, like always, the bench always help, and they did the magic for us.
Yeah, we saw that as soon as the team came from the break, 10 minutes into that second half, you ran 3 changes to the side. That just suggests you were not happy with what you saw in the first half. Or what did you really change in the team in terms of tactical,
we were too flat.
positional? Yeah.
We were too flat. The tempo, we were not raising our tempo. We were too flat, and I wanted the game to move as quickly as, because you saw, for them, a point is good for them because they've lost 2 or 3 games on the trot. So I wanted us to move the game very faster. But I was not getting it. That's the reason why I made some changes. You saw I brought Junior on the right side, but he was struggling. So I decided to change Bash. It's a technical change. I changed Bash. Junior went there and brought in Hazard, and then we started flowing. So I brought in midfielders who can, control the game, the face of it. Because when Duncan made changes, I saw they were good. They were coming in for a draw. So I need to, make some changes to push them up front. I didn't bring in a striker. I brought in midfielders who can also, hurt the defenders.
Yeah, and when he changed Sando to the left, it was his cross that eventually found Razak that brought.
That's what we're not getting in the first half. So I decided to, use him on the left side, and let's see how it goes. So that's the reason we took Bash. It was a technical change, and it worked.
Credit to your attackers, though. But let's talk about your defenders. It's 5 games in the league. You've kept 4 clean sheets, conceded only 1 goal, and that goal came in the Accra derby, the Manchester derby against Hartlepool. Something must be working for your team defensively. What is it about Olympics defensively this season that it's become difficult to crack?
Concentration. I keep telling them, if the defense is solid, it gives the opportunity for the midfielders and the attackers to do their thing. But if they're always thinking, hey, if I lose the ball, we might be punished. Then when you are going forward, at the back of your mind, you are scared. But when the back is solid, including the goalkeeper and then Kasim, these 4, I keep working on them. They have to be the pillar of the team. Then we release the others to go and do their own thing. So far, it's working for us.
Finally, before you go, you are in 3rd place. You have 11 points, only behind Adriana Stars on 13, Accra Lions on 12. Is it too early, or Olympic fans can start dreaming?
Too early. We just want to finish before the World Cup. And then when we come back, we'll continue from where we left off.
Congratulations today. Great game. Coach Duncan, it's 90 minutes full time. Commiserations on today's defeat, but what did you make of your...
Commiserations for a defeat.
Yes, I'm commiserating you on the defeat because I can congratulate you on the defeat for sure.
Yeah,
but
I can understand what is part of it. Come again.
It must be a hard one for you to take. But what did you make of the game, and why do you think your team couldn't?
I thought it was a cagey game. I mean, we never in our wildest imagination considered the fact that we were coming up against a team that we could run over. So in the first half, we tried as much as possible to stay in the game for as long as it lasted, and perhaps take our chances if it came up, and we're trying to operate most of the time from the wide areas where we knew Olympics were a little bit vulnerable because they played 3 at the back. And I think that a couple of times, we caught them on the back foot. But like I told you, prior to the game, most of the guys who are playing now, I'm sure perhaps you probably know their profiles. Moro Mukhtar, this is his first game ever in any competitive game, in any FA organized competition. But you saw the kind of output, that he delivered this afternoon. Hafiz save, Fodjwa save, So all I can say is that we could have made the game easier for ourselves, in the first half. We didn't do that because of naivety, immaturity on the part. There was an opportunity where, if you remember, Prosper was supposed to have centered for Hans to just tap in. That's supposed to be a 2-man finish. That didn't happen. So, the cliche will always play back at you when, like they say, if you refuse to take your chances, they come back to hunt you or hurt you.
It's 3 games on the bounce now that your team has lost. Not scored as well in those 3 games. That must be a worry. It's 3 games now that your team has lost on a row on the bounce. And in those 3 games as well, you've not scored goals in those games. That must be a worry. I know you are new to the side. You're still getting to know your stuff. A lot of the players are fresh, but there are still points to be won. I'm thinking it must be a worry for you. And how
Absolutely,
do you
it is. But it's all down to recruitment. Hans is an experienced player, but you don't expect him to last full 90 minutes, of a game like this, a grueling encounter like that. But, where are the alternatives? You understand? So, unfortunate, but I'm not making an excuse out of that. But like you're saying, you look at the manner in which we concede those goals, if you are following the pattern, fluke of goals. The game against Adriana, you saw how the goal was scored. Goalkeeping error. It is not down really to, you definitely, track, the cause of the goal from somewhere. But at the end of the day, it is down to just, some simple error that perhaps, if it could have been avoided, perhaps, we could be home and dry. It is not bleak just yet, We will suffer though, but before, the victory starts coming, we have to perhaps go through some of these patches.
There was a time in the game that I want to ask, when you made those changes, I'm not going to go ahead and say they were tactical, but it seemed that your team had switched to play a back 5 or 3, depending upon what it was, if I'm right. Was that a time maybe you were thinking of a draw or seeing off and stopping Olympics from attacking?
When a team is short of confidence, you can be content with a draw. We didn't really play for a draw per se. We just switched to a 3-back, and allowed Moro Mukhtar to go for some more because that is his strength. He's not, I won't say his strength is in defending, So we thought that because of his energy level, a young guy, perhaps he could give us some option going forward, with a skillful ability as well, perhaps to take on defenders, to take on opponents and all of that. So 3-back because Olympics also effected changes going for Brook. So we needed to make sure that, we were covered in those areas. 1 man free, and then the 2 picking their men, just in case the ball falls. So it's like, you respond to some of the things that you are also seeing and see whether, the game would still be going on. And it is not as if we're playing, we're also going to look for opportunities because of some of the changes that we run, and see whether perhaps, if opportunity presents itself, we could also nick it. But, like I'm saying, we could have gotten something out of the game if the goalkeeper hadn't made the howler. I put it down to a howler rather than because it was headed straight to him. It was not as if it went into an angle where he had no chance whatsoever. It went straight to him, and then he fluffed his grasp over the ball. So it's one of those things that perhaps you would want to look back and say it could have been avoided, but that's the nature of the game of football. So
finally, before we go, Kotoko is next. 3 defeats on the bounce. You go to play against the defending champions. Come to your own patch. How do you pick the boys up and sack them and get them ready for that huge fixture?
Yeah, we will do that. Now we have to just perhaps look at, or do a post-mortem of what happened, before we think about going into the match against Kotoko. It's early days yet. I'm not going to look beyond my nose. I have to perhaps look at what the next training session is going to be like and all of that. Kotoko will take care of itself as we go along throughout the week, trying to figure out how to map out a strategy perhaps to pick 3 points against them.
Thank you very much. All the best subsequent games. Razak Kasim, congratulations. Your team won today, but you were the man of the match. You are 3rd in the league now. How impressed are you with your team's performance?
First of all, I'll say thank you to Almighty Allah for the victory today. But it's really, really tough match for us this afternoon. We are not expecting this tough match today, but unfortunately, we got it. So we have to work hard to overcome this.
Your team has now, you play the defensive midfield role. At times, you are slotted into that back three to make it a back four. How much are you enjoying playing with Adumanko, Sechere, and Gripman?
They were so solid. So I'm very, very happy to be part of them.
4 clean sheets out of 5. Olympic fans are excited your team does not concede. Going forward, what do you think needs to be done to improve those numbers?
Training hard to be beating every team we meet on our way.
Congratulations, man of the match.
Thank you.